March jobs report shows that more than 170,000 jobs were added last month. The unemployment rate remained relatively the same as February. The U.S. labor market was expected to remain relatively stable, but experts say the Iran war is continuing to shift the economic landscape.
Let's bring in NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Cheung, along with Caleb Silver, Investopedia's editor-in-chief and chief business editor of People Inc., our economic dream team. Good morning to both of you. Brian, let's start with you at the big board there. Walk us through these numbers and how they compare with previous months.
Yeah, we just got these numbers. 178,000 jobs added in the month of March, but there are a number of big revisions that I want to call attention to. So again, 178,000, that was well above what we were expecting for this March jobs report. Economists on the street were expecting something closer to 60,000. So when you take a look at 178, that actually blows through the top of this chart as we had formatted it here. But it's not all great when you take a look at what they saw as changes to the previous months. Again, this is part of the standard practice at the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They look back at previous months and say, hey, we got new data. Do we have a more accurate read on this? In February, they thought there was a contraction of 92,000 jobs. Now the Bureau of Labor Statistics saying that number was worse than they originally thought. It was actually negative 133,000, but they did add a revision higher on the January numbers. Again, that was 130,000 as originally forecast and offered by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They now say that was 160,000. So again, there's a lot of threads here, but you can see the ups and downs in this labor market over the last few months. This labor market does remain kind of in flux right now, but certainly that headline number, at least for March, does point to some optimism.
Caleb, let's bring you in here, get your reaction to these numbers.
Yeah, that's not normal when you see that type of fluctuation on a month-to-month basis. Some of that's the data. Some of that's the fact that we had a partial government shutdown and we had a big strike with some healthcare workers last month. But if you smooth it out, you're looking at a low hire, low fire type of labor environment. I'm looking at two things that caught my attention. People marginally attached to the workforce, people who haven't necessarily been looking in the last 4 months. That's up 325,000. Almost 2 million people say they can't get a job right now. And then discouraged workers who believe there's no jobs out there for them, up 144,000. 500,000 people plus say they don't think they could get jobs in this labor market.
Brian, when we break it down by industry, what do things look like?
Yeah, so I thought what was really interesting was that we really saw healthcare and leisure and hospitality drive a lot of these gains. Healthcare, just in the month of March, adding 76,000 jobs. Leisure and hospitality, these are jobs at bars and restaurants, adding 44,000 in the month. I apologize for my very, very bad handwriting. Manufacturing jobs, also a bright spot in this report. It doesn't sound like a lot, 15,000, but manufacturing has been a spot over the last year where we've seen a contraction in the number of payrolls in these reports. So certainly a positive number is a good thing. And transportation warehousing only adding about 6,500 jobs in the month. But I bring this up because we're closely watching that space because of obviously the impact of the war in Iran. Again, whether or not there would be a reduction in transportation and warehousing as a result of higher costs. That is something we're watching, but it appears as if job gains in that area does point to some optimism there as well.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.